to Automatic Accent Coaching. My name's Allison. I'm going to show you how to determine or find some ways to explore what your R sound might be. But first, I'll just show you a breathing exercise that you should start every session with. So this is just to remove any tension that you might have in your speech apparatus. So we're going to take a big, deep breath in, and we're going to let it out 3 times, starting now. And now what I want you to do is visualize all the tension in your body coming into the center, and that you're blowing all the tension away when you do that breath out. So one more time. Gathering up all the tension here, and we're going to blow it away in. Excellent. All right. Now that that's out of the way, can you curl your tongue? Can you do this with your tongue? If you can, that means your styloglossus muscle is long enough to kind of come to the front and lift the sides of the tongue out. The styloglossus muscle starts in the styloid process back here, goes all the way to the front of the tongue, the sides of the tongue if you don't have a long styloglossus muscle, and the front of the tongue if you do have a long styloglossus muscle. This isn't a binary, this is kind of a spectrum. So styloid process, front of the tongue. Curling, if you can curl your tongue, you might want to try doing something called a Retroflex R if you don't have R in your speech sound system yet. So a Retroflex R, let's say this is the roof of your mouth. A Retroflex R means that your tongue is going to curl a little bit, almost back like this. And what this does is creates a constriction here, or it's an approximate sound. So there's not a true constriction, but this creates space that allows the R sound to come out. You also want to flare your lips a little bit for the R sound. So for the R sound, you'll notice my lips are flared. It's not super strong or long. It's very brief. You'll see between like one pronunciation of one word versus phrase versus sentence that these sounds are different, and they get a lot shorter once they're put into a sentence. If you don't have a long enough styloglossus muscle to curl your tongue, you might want to try a bunched R. Now, I have a long enough styloglossus to curl, but I have a bunched R in my normal native language lexicon. I've taught myself the Retroflex R so that I can teach my students the Retroflex R, but I personally use a bunched R. So you might want to try using this R if the Retroflex R doesn't work for you, or if your tongue is not able to curl. So the bunched R kind of looks like a mountain. So the tongue is pulling like this, and instead of using the tip to create this sound here, we're going to use this part of the tongue to create the sound. So the front of the tongue is lying flat on the floor of the mouth. The middle of the tongue is bunched up, creating this approximate structure where it's close but not touching the roof of the mouth. This creates the R sound. So in a bunched tongue, you'll feel your tongue pulling up like this. So let's say we're saying burn. So we're going to go b-er-n with the tongue tip, right? So burn, burn, burning, burner. Try it with me. Burner, burner. Okay. The mountain tongue and the mountain tongue, or also known as the bunched tongue. There will be videos for this on YouTube. You could look up speech therapy videos for the R sound, and you can find videos of children, videos of second language speakers being coached or being getting some intervention from speech professionals on their pronunciation of this R sound. If you don't have the R sound yet, don't be too hard on yourself. This is a difficult sound. It takes a very specific, close but not touching tongue movement to accomplish it, right? It's easier when our consonants have a definite starting place, but when they kind of hover, it's harder to start words like that, and it's harder to go to that sound in the middle of words or to end words on that sound. The other thing with R's is if they're in blends or clusters at the ends of syllables or words, the R kind of gets buried in the next consonant sound. So for north, I might hear my student kind of killing the R and going straight to the TH like this. North, north. Or even doing like a French kind of R to see if it fits there, like north, north. It doesn't sound that great when I do it, sorry. So you have to figure out how to isolate the R sound and then take away the consonants that are swallowing it. So for north, instead of pronouncing it as one syllable, I'm going to pronounce it as two syllables. So it's going to land on the R, giving the R a chance to ring out first. Then we're going to do the TH sound. I've talked about this in previous videos. So that would look like this. Nor. Nor. And you're going to slowly knit that back together to where it's one consistent linked up sound like north, north. But you have to start that way. You have to break the syllables apart and you have to isolate the sounds that you can't pronounce. Pronounce them singularly. Pronounce the isolated sounds on their own before building them into words, phrases, and sentences. You can't expect to just learn a new speech sound and think you're going to program it into your speech and everything's going to sound perfect. You have to practice the sound as a sound. You have to practice the sound as a syllable. You have to practice the sound as a word, as a two-syllable word, as a phrase, as a sentence, as part of a longer dialogue. This work, I might not show it here, but requires repetition on the order of like going to the gym. So for instance, I do like 12 reps, 3 sets of arm exercises. 10 reps, 3 sets of leg exercises, for example. So think of how many repetitions I'm doing. 12 times 3 or whatever is like 45 or 50 repetitions. Then think of how you have to do that with your speech. There's no line here that says, this is your mind and this is your body and this is where your muscles are and this is where your body is. Your face is part of your body. Your muscles in your face are just like the muscles in your arms and legs. You can teach them to do new things. The muscles in your face are part of your whole entire body. Your head is not separate. Your mind is not separate from your body. So think of the speech sounds as being like new dances, new movements that you have to learn, just like going to the gym, just like learning a new sport or learning a new dance. There's going to be memorization involved with getting the sound to be part of your actual speech sound system. So hopefully that sheds some light on things. And if you have questions, you can go ahead and leave me a comment and I will try to get that in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.